harm has she done melanated people in her classroom? How much harm has she done people?
Same thing.
You know, and not only
Maximum volume.
this nasty, fat nasty was actually wearing a G-string when she was out there in public like that. Because when she bends over by the cop, you can clearly see it. And I pointed it out to the people. You know, the thing you got to realize is that she could have potentially got some brother killed. You know, when that cop rode up, she started in with those crocodile tears. He could have got amped up. Oh my God, I'm going to hurt somebody. And popped somebody. We have seen it happen on less, with less. And plus there's a case history of, you know, basically white women lying on black males saying that they're winking at them or doing whatever. And that's Emmett Tills. And we get murdered. So we have to, you know, we have to move past this. We have to move past this because she was doing nothing but harassing and antagonizing people that were just doing their thing. You know, they were just having fun. And that was why I mentioned, you know, that's what we're up against. We're up against people in their hearts. They hate us. They don't want to see us happy. They don't want to see us in joy or in prosperity.
Right.
And that's what we have to crush if we want to survive.
I was attending Stanford right about now, and I was in her class, I would immediately withdraw from the class. And if I was a former student, I would go back. If I received a low grade, I'd go back and test that grade. Because really, she cannot be trusted to do right by any of her students.
And then there's another
students.
There was another white chick. She was a teacher, and I sent it to Darling. She's up here having these kids sing rap music and shit in their classroom. And I wrote on the comment, I go, damn, this chick is pumping out these kids for YouTube views and likes. And, you know, people responded to that. You know, and that's the truth. These kids need to be learning arithmetic, writing, and basically some critical thinking skills. They don't need to repeat rap songs to feed this chick's ego. You know, that's not what this is all about. But apparently that's what it is about.
Especially when a lot of young black males can't read.
Yeah. All right. So
we'll do our spiel, we'll introduce you, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be totally random. All right, let me go live on Facebook. Bam.
It's recording.
All right.
All right.
Welcome, everybody,
to the Other Morning Show. I'm Don Bag Dorley.
And I'm Truth Powers Mine.
And today is May 25th, 2018.
The year of our Lord.
There you go.
Year of our Lord.
First off, I want to thank all the new subscribers, all the people that's been with us since day one.
Thank you.
All the people that have contributed to the show.
Yes.
All the people that's just basically been supportive to us from day one.
Also, the show is sponsored today by APM Construction. Please, if you're in the St. Louis metro area, give them a call for all your construction needs. The phone number is 314-300-9455.
I didn't cut you off.
My train of thought is broken.
Okay, I broke his train of thought. So, make sure if you want to contribute to the show, P.O. Box 133, DeSoto, Missouri 63020, or you can go to patreon.com/DownBagTV.
And also, I want to get this straight. You know, a lot of people are like, well, you guys begging for money. I've seen the comments and all. It's not about begging for money. For one, I have never suggested I'm anti-money. You know, I understand the Federal Reserve is whack, but we have to have these reserve notes to do a couple of things. You know, when we was up there feeding the homeless last week off camera, no one saw that. That took money to do. All right? We do things behind the scenes that you don't necessarily see because I'm not going to glory hound shit. I'm not going to give nobody a sandwich and be on camera and be like, hey, look at me, I'm so cool. But we still do these things because it's in us to do them. And we do them because you have been supporting us this far to make this possible. And I just want to say thank you personally.
We have a very special guest today, author of the book Unconquered.
Yes.
Very intelligent woman. I've talked to her off air, and we have had a good conversation. We was talking to her off air before we went on air right now. So, no further ado, people, you out there listening and watching, Dr. O. Welcome to the Other Morning Show. How you doing this evening?
Thank you. I'm doing just fine. How are you doing?
Are we?
How are you all doing?
We're breathing.
We're breathing. We're alive. Another day, in the
in
the situation that we
We
find
just-
ourselves in.
trying to survive.
That's all we're doing. The best way we
That's
can.
right.
Just trying to survive.
Well, hopefully we'll get to the point where we're thriving as opposed to just surviving.
Yeah.
That would be a great place to get to.
Now, Dr. O, today I was just scouring the internet and I came across that the Supreme Court just knocked down saying that employees can no longer take it's perfectly legal for an employer to make you sign a waiver to class action lawsuits. So that means like you have to go through an arbitrator. Like, and so now it feels like, to me personally, it's just one more step, and this is gonna you good?
No, I'm not.
It's gonna hurt. It's this effect is going this Supreme Court ruling is gonna hurt, especially descending of slaves, to where if you want a job, you gotta basically forfeit more of your rights to even keep a low-paying job.
Well, I think the problem is it's about time for us to go and do our own thing. We've been trying to exist within a system that doesn't care anything about us instead of building our own. And I think we now realize that integration didn't help us. It actually hurt us. So all the businesses that we had, we basically gave that up to be a part of a system that has never given us any respect. And so maybe this will be another reason or impetus for us to begin to go back and create and build things that we should never have stopped doing. In a way, I guess this ruling is helping us if we look at it that way.
But
because there's so many gifted people among us that we just need to support one another.
Right.
And do you think the reason why we don't support one another is that we have basically been systematically, basically to not want to trust each other? When the Iceman came out years ago, they used to have something that said the white man's ice is cooler, meaning that the brother's ice is somehow warmer. We have these like built-in mechanisms. Like for instance, that guy Bernie Madoff. He was able to go with his last name, Madoff, and get all that money. Whereas those people, if a brother would have knocked on the door with all the economic background and all that, they wouldn't even give him a shot at their money.
Right.
We have to overcome
Well,
this.
a lot of it has to do with our miseducation. We've been taught to be distrustful of one another.
Yeah.
And we've been, the whole thing you're saying about, the European made of ice being colder and the sugar being sweeter.
Yes.
We've been taught those things, and we actually believe them. But I think now we're beginning to drift away from that. And I think it's more, because there have always been people that were distrustful of the system. But now I think as more and more things happen each and every day, like the whole thing we were talking about earlier with Barbara Becky and all the other stuff. I was reading, watching something on Facebook, I think it was, where a young man was handcuffed and taken to the police station because he didn't wear his helmet. How come the police just couldn't tell him, when you're riding, it's safe to wear a helmet, put one on, and let it go with that? But they had to arrest him, pull him down on the ground, and all of the things that they've been doing to us. Every day you hear about something, some horrendous act has occurred. So maybe this will inspire our people in mass to begin to say, hey, we can no longer tolerate all these abuses. Let's go and build our own. So we won't have to worry about that.
But if we look back in history, we have so many points that could fire us up as a group of people. I don't think history lessons in order anymore. We have to somehow tell people and explain to people, whether it's self-preservation or economic prosperity, the reason why you want to get aboard this, supporting one another, is because in the long run it's going to help out you and yours. And I just don't think that message is coming across loud enough. You know, we got guys like today. I reached out to this guy named Reverend Jesse Peterson, all right, a self-professed coon. He wears the label coon like a sash across his chest, all right? How do you reach a guy like that? How do you tell this melanated man, you know, you're using your intellect, you're using your passion in the wrong way? You know, this guy refers to President Trump as the great white savior. How do we overcome this mindset?
Well, you know, maybe he never will. And I think that that's something that we have to realize. That some people, no matter what you do, you're not going to reach him. So leave him alone, because the energy that you're spending trying to convince this man to do right for himself, it's not working. So let him go by the way and deal with people that really want the help, and they're ready and they're willing to learn. I think I learned that a long time ago. Stop trying to convince people that don't want to be convinced.
But there's another side to that coin, though, Doctor. Because of his actions and his rhetoric, it is emboldening, basically, you know, you might as well be honest, white race soldiers, you know, whether they're at the cooler, at the job, or out here in the street beating up people behind the scenes. It's emboldening them and their negative behavior, you know, for us, because they got this bozo basically speaking their talking points and rhetoric. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, we could just say, okay, we ain't gonna deal with this guy. We don't want to communicate with this guy, but his actions are still impacting your life, his life, my life, his life, and every other melanated person, just by his rhetoric.
Right.
You know, but
So how do we deal with that, guys? How do we deal with these people who are basically character assassinating us all?
I think you just gotta.
Right.
I think you just gotta just not mess with them type of. I mean, you gotta like they have to be benched, you know, and they have to be benched, because I just feel like the only way, especially melanin people in this country descended of slaves, you know, it's gonna start within. You know, we're gonna have to, you know, stop messing with people within our own ranks, because they are the biggest contributor factors to keeping us in the situation that we're already in.
I mean, I dig that, but we don't have that type of pull. Let's say that we were white supremacists, right? And somebody stepped out of line. We could economically ban this individual, cut them off from all the shit and all that. But as a group, what can we? Because that Jesse Peterson guy, he would tell us, "Fuck y'all, I don't need y'all anyhow." And he'll still go on getting paid by these clowns, making the money,
but
and being a bozo for everybody.
But once people start catching on. See, people want to go where people is doing something, they're building something, they're teaching something. So if all he's doing is cooning and buffooning, eventually people gonna start saying, well, they over there look like they trying to do something, and all he's doing is clowning around. You know.
No, but he's clowning around in a very serious way. You know, he's trying to come off as he's the
but you still got another example of something that got the potential to be better. They're gonna leave that dude alone. The ones that got common sense. And eventually he's going to be a useless tool, and then he'll end up just like, you know, the rest of them, Bill Cosby, Morgan Freeman, you know, after there's no more use as those tools, they just come in there and strip everything they gave you, take it right on back, and then next thing you know, we should not accept these people back into the group. They need to stay over there.
Well, I got a question for the doctor. Doctor, how come it seems like we get these Jesse Peterson type out of the Christian religion? We get these Christian ministers that hit some sort of plateau, and all of a sudden they're flag-waving, Trump-loving individuals. Why is that?
Because they're supported. They're supported by the government. They're put in place by the government. And then the people that are doing something positive, and they're helping us to come out of the situation we find ourselves in, they're ignored. You're not going to see those people on TV, or you know, in so-called mainstream media. But the people that toe the line and say what the system, the Europeans want them to say, they're the ones that get the press.
Right.
You know, but like you were just saying, if we ostracize them and let them know that if you make the decision to go that way, we're not going to deal with you at all. So once they no longer want to deal with you, don't come running to us.
Right.
You know, you even think about like a Bill Cosby, and what they did to him is definitely wrong. But look at all the stuff that he did to us, all the negative things he said about us. So should we feel sorry for him?
No.
That he's being persecuted?
No.
I think not.
No.
You know, during the Holocaust of enslavement, the women had a practice called playing the banjo. And so what it was actually, women who willingly messed with their enslavers, and when I mean messed with, had relations, sexual relations with their enslavers, were not raped. They just, you know, signed up. They wanted to be with their enslavers. They thought that that was something special, to get a nice dress or a decent pair of shoes or whatever it is that this man was offering them. Maybe even just a little extra food. The women would do what they call playing the banjo on them. So anytime they would try and come around and sit with the women and the other family members or members of other enslaved people, they would start playing the banjo and singing songs and letting them know, you're not welcome here. Get away from us. We have no dealings with you. So I think we need to do something very similar to that nowadays, and let these people who are betraying us know that we're not going to tolerate that. Go and be with them if you want to, but when you get in trouble, don't come back.
No, what about like...
And, you know, you even think, like you mentioned, Morgan Freeman. I remember a couple of years ago when he was saying he wasn't an African, he was a mutt. How do you call yourself a mutt? You know, and think that it's okay. And I even think, though, you know, what they're saying about him now, messing with all these women, and I don't know, I read something years ago. Didn't he either marry or establish a long-term relationship with his step-granddaughter?
Oh, God.
Did you hear about that?
I heard about that, but I didn't really see too much more of it. So I just never paid it no more mind.
So he said...
Well, a couple of articles have been written on it, and he actually even denied being with her, I believe, but there was so much other information to support the fact, I believe, that he was having a relation with the step-granddaughter. You know, so what has he actually even done to us? Look at even some of the roles that he plays in the movies. You know, they don't make us look good.
No.
I remember there was one movie where he was dancing with some man.
So he's a fag as well? I mean, excuse my language.
Yeah. You know, so maybe he needs to receive a letter or some sort of petition or something, a cease and desist document for us, telling him, you know, get it together. You know, if you don't, or he should have, because at this point he's 80 years old.
Right,
you know,
yeah. Do you think this is a part of them just taking away, like a lot like Red Fox, you know, had some money. Before he dies, he goes broke. You know, obviously Bill Cosby, before he dies, he's going to go broke. O.J. Simpson, before he dies, we all know he's going to be broke. Do you not see this trend with these so-called, you know, alpha African-American men? They'll reach a plateau, they'll be there for a few years, but right before they check out, they check in all that cash. Even Michael Jackson.
Right. And that's done by design.
Yeah.
And even, you know, the people that they choose, they know that there are people that can be manipulated.
Right.
And that's why they're given a platform. And so the people that, you know, they question you. They're going to find out exactly how you feel about certain issues. If you don't give the right answers, you're not going to get the opportunity to even be among them. You know, so, you know, we're angry now with Bill Cosby. But if someone had listened to him years ago, we should have seen that this was coming. I know he had that show, I Spy. Do you remember the show? I know kind of
when I was a kid, I remember seeing it. Yeah, he was a spy guy.
You know that Huh?
He was like a spy guy, like a Mission Impossible type show.
Right. And he had this code word, and it was funny, the code word was Boule. And now we know about the Boule organization and how they've been working against the community.
Yes.
And that was the code word. Now, did he choose that code word? Or did someone tell him this will be the code word that you'll use in this particular program? But either way, when they told him that, if he had been a little more astute,
conscious,
he should have looked that information up to find out, why did you make that the code word? Why do you want me to say that?
But he is a part of the Boule. You know, me and Dimebag had a run-in with a Boule. You know, try to get him on the show, and they're, you know, no. And it's like, that's what we're talking about. If we don't work together, if we don't help each other, you know, we're doomed. We are utterly doomed. We might as well just pack up our shit and jump into the furnaces because these Nazis are going to stuff us on trains and put us there anyways.
And they already starting. Because did you see down in Fulton County, Georgia, where they another person was found, black person was found hung, and this one was a woman, and the police was quickly to say that it was a suicide.
Yeah.
And when I see like one of the news media videos, and I was like, you know, I get it. Like I do know that the descendants of slaves in this country do commit suicide, but by hanging, especially if you live in the South, if you're gonna commit suicide, I don't really think hanging is gonna be the preferred choice of method to do that. And to string in the tree they showed that they found this woman hanging from, it's like, it's no way she could have done that by herself. Even to reach up there to tie a rope, she would have needed some kind of ladder because the tree was.
And there was no ladder present.
No, the tree was canopied too, so there were no bottom branches to climb on. That stuff has been. It looked like it's been maintained. And when I say canopy, that means there's no branches from like 15 feet. From the top, the closest branch at the top on down to the bottom to the ground.
You know, it's incredibly hard for any black person to bring up any type of discrimination with the police because first thing you're gonna say, this ain't a hate crime.
Right.
Even if this ain't a hate crime, buddy.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you determine what the fuck this is? Take my report, shut the fuck up, and go about
Right. But what I'm saying is that people need to be aware, especially if you live in Fulton County, Georgia, because this is starting to be like, you know, it's been like 2 weeks since the first. This is the second person in like a month.
What's in bone these people? You got the folks, you know, the black folks saying pull your pants up, that's stupid bullshit. You got a fucking president saying black folks come from shithole countries, and then you have this overall general society, black folks getting popped right and left, and no one gives a fuck. You know, that's why we are in danger. Fuck, even a deer, you only have seasons to hunt that motherfucker. A black man's 24/7.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah, but at least I think we're aware now, and we're talking to one another, and we have the media platforms where we can discuss this information, because this is something that's been occurring. It has never stopped.
Right.
You know, but now we can talk about it, and we can question. You know, when they tell us these lies about she committed suicide, we immediately, you know, put our thinking caps on. We said, wait a minute, now how is that possible? You know, the lowest branch was 15 feet high. How did she get up there? Where's the ladder that she climbed, you know, whatever, to get to that point where she could even commit suicide? So we're talking. So I think this is the beginning of something that's going to become more widespread, where people are going to question. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to begin to take action. So it's one thing to say that this has to stop, but the next thing is, when are we going to begin to come out in mass and do something about it?
Right. And are you suggesting, like, come out in mass and just get beat up with water hoses and dogs and police batons, or come out in mass where we boycott a situation, or, you know, do what we got to do?
Right. Well, you know, even during that particular time, where they talk about the whole civil rights movement and this thing, we shall overcome.
Yes.
And with courts and bridges and marching, that sort of stuff, they don't tell you that at the same time, there were people that against those white supremacists, and they weren't even white, those European supremacists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have the book, and I can't think of the man's name now. I could probably try and look it up quickly, but he had a book called Negroes with Guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where people were arming themselves, even when they crossed over that bridge, and they just did the whole thing about Selma.
Yeah.
I was listening to something by, I guess it was Dick Gregory, where he was talking about, they didn't give us the whole truth about that. They just talk about the people walking over the bridge and singing and praying, but they don't talk about the fact that on the other side of the bridge, there were melanated men waiting there with guns, you know, letting them know, we're not going to take this today.
Right.
Now, y'all can do what you want to do, you know, but you're going to deal with the consequences. You know, so there are a lot of things that are going on that we don't even have an idea about those things occurring, because we've always resisted, but they never talk about our resistance to enslavement and European attempts at supremacy. They don't talk about any of that. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I wrote my book, because I think it's time for us to start talking about our successes in dealing with the oppression.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Doctor, you would agree that no one respects anyone on their knees.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I totally agree with that.
Don't.
You know, and not to say that I would ever recoup what King and all the marchers went through. You know, I dig it, I understand it. But at the end of the day, man, if we go marching and bust the fuck up, you know what, it's going to be another 50 years, another couple of brothers talk about what the fuck we went through. You know, we got to make some radical changes from top to bottom. Radical changes, you know? I mean, the way we eat is killing us. The way we traditionally eat has been killing us. We got to change that shit up. Because, you know, if you're going to do any type of physical action, how can you go out there sick? Hold on, man, let me take my pill down bag, and then we get to marching. You know, how the fuck can we do that? We can't. And then we got to change the way we spend our fucking money. Period.
I was watching something on Facebook where they had that Asian man, I think he might have been Korean, where he slapped the woman
What?
in the store. Yeah, he's selling all this fried food. And a mistake was made by the owner's wife, and they were trying to make the young melanated girl pay for it.
Bullshit.
And she didn't make much. She only made like minimum wage, whatever that is for that particular time. And then when she protested and said, why are you going to, you know, take money away from me? I didn't make the mistake. The man came up and slapped her. Now, why is that business still open?
Yes.
Yeah.
How come people haven't surrounded that building and told no one to go in there?
Right. You know, I want to, before you know, I hate to cut us.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
I just want to give a plea, man. Brothers, please protect our sisters. If you see them out there being accosted, man, step up. You fuck it. If they're gonna kill you or take you, arrest you, fuck getting arrested for some dope. Get arrested for assaulting somebody to defend our women. And you know, not just our women, but all women. Period. We have to start promoting a different image of us. Instead of an image of a little coward, don't want to, you know, take care of their kids and all that shit, we got to promote an image that we protect women, we protect family, we love ourselves, and that's what we have to protect, because these people are projecting some wicked shit, and I'm telling you all, they're doing it to destroy our character, so when the hammer comes down, and it's time to start killing people, the average decent human being will pull a bullet in your brain because you're a savage fucking monkey. Period.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the girl with the Asian. It's so many videos on the internet where you see Asian men and just beating the crap out of descendant of slave women in these beauty care shops and stuff. Just beating the crap out of them, and it always seems to bother me that I never see any black feminists calling on their white allies to put an end to this. But when it comes to like attacking a black man or something like that, you know,
Oh,
the black feminists, they'll be right on board with the white feminists, female feminists. But when the roles are reversed, like when somebody's husband gets gunned down by the police, he's unarmed, you can clearly see that he posed no threat, or the son or anything. The black female feminist is nowhere to be found, and they never ask their white counterpart feminists to join in to get this cop locked up and get the justice that needs to be served. You never see that, but you can hear them trying to go after R. Kelly. Now, don't get me wrong, R. Kelly's a sexual predator, and
alleged. Let's say alleged. There was no trial.
And I think that he should be taken off the streets. But I'm not going to do it for the system. The system needs to do it. But it just seems to me like the black feminist is always on board when it comes down to attacking the black man. But they're never on board to get any justice or anything for a black man. And at the end of the day, and this is for all the black women out there that's listening and watching, the only people in this country that's going to protect you are black men. No other group is going to do it. Flat out. And that's been proven through history. And it just,
but you know, a lot of it, I think, is they don't know the history first and foremost.
Yes.
There has never been a time where European feminists have ever done anything for us. That's first and foremost. And a lot of those women that are joining up with those European feminists, they have self-hatred. They don't know who they are. You know, so...
Doctor, could you please tell them who they are?
They're also affected by the images that they see on TV. So if you constantly see melanated men on TV shooting, killing, raping, maiming, you begin to believe that false information.
Doctor,
you know,
can you tell us, for those new listeners, those people who might not even know the show yet, who is the black woman and black man in North America? Who are we?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, who are we? I mean, we're not a monolith. There are so many different groups. We should all be one people, and we're not. And we've been taught that, you know, we should be distrustful of one another, as I said before, so that we don't behave as one people.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I think that's something that we need to work on. I think at one time we were one people, basically. But we've been told, you know, that you don't have to have any sort of identification with the group. You know, so you can be whatever it is that you want to be.
Anything but black.
And that's perfectly fine.
Anything
you know, so
but
maybe
that.
that's what we need to do first and foremost, go back and establish an identity, a true identity.
Right.
Like it's like we have no code. You know, like how like other ethnicity groups got code. They get on code. When something happened to black people, we're all over the place. But when and you take example for white people, when they kill I'm just using this example. When they kill when a white police officer kill descendant of slave unarmed citizen, white people, they get on code immediately.
Right.
But in the black community, it's like we're all in chaos.
Yeah.
To where there's like no code, we have no guidelines, no rules, or anything else, and it seems like every other ethnicity group got these set policies put in place. To where if something kicks off, they immediately at the snap of the wrist, they jump on code. And if you don't jump on code, you are shunned from the group.
They vulnerable.
But where would we learn a code? We don't have our own. We don't control our own schools.
Right.
We don't control our own neighborhoods.
Right.
You know, so where do you learn the code at? Even if you go to church, unfortunately, you're not learning the code. You know, a code that deals with us. And some people get very angry about that But I want to know, okay, so you're a Christian and that's what you want to be, if that's what you want to be. Why are you still going to a church with a picture of a European man?
Right.
And you're worshiping him and calling him Jesus.
Right.
How does that happen?
It happens because the people who control the fucking printing of the Bible makes it so. The dominant society makes it so. You know, you'll be the only white face there in the church, in a black church, would be the image of Jesus above the pulpit. So what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on is propaganda at a religious level.
I truly believe that, and this is off the camera, I truly believe that us as black folks, we're sympathetic to our oppressors. We want to look like them. We want to talk like them. We want to live like them. And it's kind of going back to what the doctor was saying earlier about when you guys were saying about the code. Well, who are we really? It's just like what Malcolm X said. We're not really considered Americans. Yeah, we were brought over here, raised over here, but we're not Americans. And then it's just like with the Christianity, it's like the one thing that Adolf Hitler had. Adolf Hitler, same way with Donald Trump. The reason why Donald Trump is so powerful is because he has the power to manipulate the media. And Donald Trump specifically told Leslie Stahl on an interview back in 2014, I want to be so powerful, quote unquote, that when people start bad-mouthing me on the media, they won't believe it. It's the same thing with what Adolf Hitler did. We have, us as black people, we're considered all the things that we've been through. Look at the Jews, look at the Mexicans, look at the Muslims, etc. We don't have that commitment to each other. So if we don't have that commitment to each other, we don't know who we are. White supremacy will always be a part of the black man until the black man dies. And it's just like what Brother Darley was saying. How come these black feminists, they cry out against black folks, but they won't cry out against protecting us? Because they think that the black man owes them something. We are owed over 450 years of not just financial prosperity, but true freedom. Because we don't know who we are.
Right. I mean, and don't forget this. Once again, no one respects anybody on their knees. And there is not one black nation that possesses an atomic weapon. Not one. Not fucking one. You better fucking take that and think about that. The real implications of that reality.
Yeah.
Right. I think that anybody, any woman, any melanated woman that refers to herself as a black feminist, she's confused, and you either need to leave her alone, or if you can, give her information that's going to set her in the right direction. You know, you even have now Meghan Markle, who just married Harry. She's referring to herself as a feminist.
Well, someone mentioned, Doctor, that they didn't see any black folks in the home. Someone mentioned, Doctor, that they didn't even see any black folks during the presentation of the wedding. So like, where's her people?
Like her mom was like there, but like, you know, like when you watch the video, and I watched a little bit of it because it was brought to my attention by somebody I know that was like, you didn't see many black people there. I mean, Serena, I think Serena was there, but she wasn't Mirko's family.
Right.
I'm talking about her black family.
Right.
No.
Has she done melanated people in her classroom? How much corn?
Right.
And I seen a couple of videos where they asked her, you know, do you consider yourself white or black? And she was like, no, I'm mixed. But when you go on, when you went on Twitter, you seen all these black women like, you go girl, and good blase.
I guarantee you, if Meghan Markle was darker skinned, Prince Harry would never have married her. What do people forget that Prince Harry had a swastika
and a Klan
and dressed up as a Ku Klux Klan member?
So he's probably having all kinds of wicked sexual chocolate fantasy with this hoe.
Right. And the question, and that's the question, Dr. O. It's like it seems like that us as black folks, why do we forget so quickly about events that have taken place, like you just mentioned, Meghan Markle. If Meghan Markle was darker skinned, same way with President Barack Obama. If President Obama was darker skinned, he would not have been elected president.
If you look like Wesley Snipes,
you know what? I just want to go on the record. I am so sick when Michelle Obama was in office. Everyone calling her. She was a beautiful woman, and fuck everyone who says she ain't. At least she ain't a fucking skank whore showing her fucking goods on some plane, butt naked to every fucking body in their mama. You know, I have my issues with Obama on a different deal, but I would never say he was married to an ugly woman, because he was not. He was married to a very beautiful black woman, and fuck all the haters out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, they were trying to say that she was a man.
Yeah, all that bullshit. That's bullshit, doctor. I'm sorry.
I ain't seen nothing man on that figure.
Say that based on the size of her hand, she must really have been a man.
Yeah, all this hater shit. You know, good and well. If Trump's woman can't even fucking speak, you know, you want to talk about immigrants. This bitch can't even speak fucking English. She'd be the first one on the plane going back to Eastern Europe. And let people and those little chinky ass eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
And what people don't realize is it's a lot of black women out here that got big hands. My mom has big hands. So you saying that she's a man?
That's exactly what. No. They're trying to play this stupid bullshit like they can't determine a black man from a black woman because they don't look at us like that.
It's a girl, a black girl that worked at this gas station. She's tall. She got legs on her.
Right.
And her hands are about the same size as my mom. I know that's not a dude.
Right.
You know.
You can tell a black woman. Look, there's beauty in all races. All races of women are beautiful in their own way. They really are. And I ain't one of these fags out here be like, oh, blah blah blah. No, women are beautiful in all shapes and sizes. All right. And if anybody says any different, they're suspect. But the thing we got to get to though, if we don't show that there is a benefit to being a part of our culture, other than some dance or some stupid shit, then nobody wants to be a part of it. That's why, you know, you have these people going to China and shit, and above her be like, where you? Oh, I'm not from, I'm not African American. I'm Caribbean, or I'm, this or that, because the African American male, if you want to call us that, has such a negative stereotype all the way around the world, and you gotta ask yourself why? Why? Why does this guy, I'm saying the white supremacists, have to put us down for him to feel sexually invigorated or powerful? Because quiet is kept. After all the bullshit, all the camera goes away. That little Vienna sausage old boy's packet ain't fucking with the footlong the brothers got. So on that level, just on that level, that's why they, oh, you can't be around our girls and shit. Once the secret's out, we're fucked. We have the money, but you got the honey. And I think, a lot of this goes back to that economic thing. If there wasn't an economic penalty for a lot of these girls to do whatever, you would see a lot more of it going down. Because a lot of these cats out here, and I'm talking about, the typical white boy in the trailer park, is a very abusive, almost savage type of guy. He's going to beat on her, he's going to beat on the kids, he's going to do meth, he's going to
kill him.
Yeah, or kill him, or do heroin. Yeah. He's going to be a real savage. But at the end of the day, when the cop, approaches his car, his hand's not on the fucking gun. But when he approaches my car or any of his brother's car, his hand's sure enough on the gun, ready to pop a motherfucker in a minute. So how can we change this propaganda? What can we do on a day-to-day level to turn the tide of this mainstream media being projected on us, specifically black men, in a bad light, Doctor? How can we change this?
Right. Well, I think if we think that we're going to change it, that's going to be a problem, because we're never going to change their media. What we need to do is strengthen our media. For example, there ought to be tens of thousands of people who listen to your show who are supporting it,
Right.
no matter how small the amount of money, and all of the others. There are so many um, uh, media outlets that we're building now, but none of them, I believe, are not getting the support that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Even the movie that I'm trying to make, close people that I thought that were close to me wouldn't even give me $1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm sorry,
And I'm
Doctor.
trying
Do you
to
have a
change the
website?
image.
Do you have a website
Yeah,
where
I do.
people can go and find you? Could you please tell us?
Yeah, the name of the website is called the Unconquered movie.
Unconquered
That's my
movie. There will be a
right.
link below. I promise you, there will be a link on this video. And we're going to
Oh,
get you the
thank you.
funding that you need, Doctor, because, I appreciate the time it took for you to actually learn all the knowledge that's floating around in your head. I do. I really do, because you could have been doing a million other things. But you decided, I'm going to do this and I'm going to focus in on that, and I'm 100% behind you.
Thank you. Yeah, and no matter what the consequences, if I could tell you the number of schools that I've been kicked out of, and all the things that have happened to me as I've tried to disseminate this information, but I'm not going to be deterred. I
Yes.
believe that it's something that needs to be done. And so I think that's what we need to concentrate on. If we concentrate on them, nothing is going to change, but let's see what we can do among ourselves to make these changes.
Yes.
Um,
For our own
and,
benefit.
right. And not just stop where we're at right now. Keep on thinking of ways to improve so that no matter what, we have like a fail-safe type of strategy going on. Because you hear about all the time we're on YouTube, if you say things that are offensive to the Europeans, they give you a warning,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can shut your
channel down,
your program down. And then you find people that are scrambling to try and think of ways to start a new program. There must be something else that we can do. And even though they're focusing on the negative things that are going on, there are so many positive things that are going on, but we're just not being given that information.
Right.
And so I think that we need to do more in terms of getting out the information that is in our best interest, and turn the TV off.
right?
Yep.
I know I tell my grandchildren when they come over, Grandma, can we watch TV? No. Turn that TV off. Or no, don't turn the TV on. Or when we're sitting down to have a meal, they'll say, can we sit in front of the TV and eat our meal? No, you can't. Come sit at the table. We're going to talk about things that are related to family, things that you need to know about your ancestors. And I want to know what are your ideas about the future. What do you want to be? And what do you need in order to get there? I think that we need to do that. We need to go back to family time. I remember when I was growing up, my mother and father always made sure that we sat down and ate together at the table, at least for one meal. We may not have sat together to eat breakfast and lunch, but dinner time, we always sat down together. My father worked in the evening, so we would have a meal somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock every single day that he had to go to work because he'd have to leave so that he could be at work on time. So my mother made sure that the meal was ready so that we all sat down and ate at least one meal together. I think that we need to make a conscious effort to sit down and eat together, number one.
But
and, even the types of meals that we're eating, we need to be a little bit more conscious about that. Like the people are complaining about Starbucks. Why do we eat Starbucks to begin with? How come you can't percolate your own coffee? How come you can't make your own donuts? Making donuts is so simple. And all the other things. Waffles. Who can't make a waffle?
a lot of these girls out here can. You know, because we've been in this fast, I want it here, I want it now, drive through, fatten me up, blah, blah, blah. We know.
And then the women are being taught that basically they're just there behind and they're breast. You know, and then
don't forget the mouth, doctor. The mouth is very important.
I
said don't forget their mouth.
It kind of almost think like what the doctor just said about when her grandchildren came over and they don't watch television.
Right.
It reminds me of the same thing that the late great Tupac Shakur and the finished Shakur did. If Tupac was to ever get in trouble by his mom, her order to him was, you have to do a weekly report on in the New York Times. You have to read all of these books, and you have to give your synopsis and thesis on what you read. So that's when the doctor just said that. Well, when a family comes over, they don't watch TV. Same thing that Tupac's mom did. You read and write. If you get in trouble, it's important to know who you are.
Yeah, but I'm gonna break out. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to break out and say something that's really real. You know, a lot of this Leave It to Beaver shit is so quaint, and I love it. But in reality, it's not feasible. Because when your old girl's working a part-time job, you working a part-time job, everybody got work and shit, you know, you be praying that you have a babysitter, enough money for a babysitter. You know, this whole sitting down nonsense ain't where it's at. You know, there's other ways to install this program in these babies without sitting here at the table. Because if you rely on that and you can't do that, then that means you're fucked.
No, but you make time.
You can't make time, man. I ain't hearing that. Man, I work all motherfucking day, dog. I'm getting
believe it or not,
and getting fucked up and going to bed.
Believe it or not, when you sit down with and have a meal with people, that's believe it or not, you're bonding with that other person.
I get that.
It's a powerful tool.
Man, but you have worked 10-hour days before, brother. When you come off that 10-hour days all fucked up, sweaty, hot and tired, you ain't sitting around, hey, what did you do today? You ain't want to try to hear that shit. You're trying to fucking watch your fucking shit.
I don't like TV.
Not TV, but like shit on the internet or whatever the fuck you do. You're trying to deprogram yourself from
right.
stressful
I get all that, but I still take time.
I'm saying a lot of people are going through that, and no one wants to acknowledge that. They think it's so fucking easy.
I get that. It's nobody never said it was going to be easy.
But no one said it's going to be this damn hard either.
And then you do what you can do. So you may not be the person that can sit down and have a meal with your family.
Right.
But there's some other things that you can do so that your family begins to bond themselves to one another.
Yes, I agree.
You know?
I agree. And let's share some of this stuff. What can we do besides sitting here eating? What can we do to bond with our children? Can we take a walk with them around somewhere?
That's all you got to do. All you have to do is, you know, intimacy. When I say the word intimacy, a lot of people think it's in a sexual manner, but it's not. You have intimacy with your kids and all this stuff. When you sit there and you ask your kid, you know, say you're just walking down the street and you start talking to them, ask them how their day going, what's going on in their head, how their life is going. You create that's a bonding period that you have with your kid in an intimate setting.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
right. You develop some sort of ritual.
Yes.
It's a ritual that applies to your particular family.
Yes.
But for children, they always look forward to that particular ritual that you set up. And everybody's ritual is not going to be the same, but it's going to be something where your children are beginning to bond with the family and know that they're important to the family, especially because of the type of world that we live in. I'll never forget, all throughout my childhood, my mother would always say, even a snake loves itself. And when I'm feeling down and people are trying to use and abuse me, I remember that. And then I say, snakes don't let people abuse them. I'm not going to let anybody abuse me.
There you
I
go.
love myself. And I think that that's important because I don't think we really do love ourselves. Because if we did, if we really loved ourselves, the Asians couldn't be selling us fake hair, that yak or whatever it is that they're selling, or even if it's human hair, you wouldn't be putting blue contact lenses in our eyes.
Right.
Our eyes aren't blue.
We'd be happy with what we got.
Wife, she had her cornea replaced with or something over
Oh,
that.
God.
She hasn't even thought about the implications of doing that. And I believe she had her daughter do that as well. Why?
Because
Why
she
would
wants.
she do something like that?
Because in her mind, you're not beautiful unless you have them Aryan eyes. In her mind,
Right.
you know, the only way for her to set herself out from other black females is to look so cartoonish, as if you cannot not acknowledge her.
Or maybe she didn't have a positive male figure in her life to tell her like how pretty she is,
Yeah,
the way
that-
she is.
yeah.
Like I tell my daughter all the time how pretty she looks, even when she's just ran 3 miles, sweaty,
Yeah.
dirty in the mud.
Better.
And I tell her all the time how people don't realize how
Much they
that,
mean
that carries with them.
Right.
You know, when
Right.
you don't have somebody there doing that, and that's important, and that's why they put all these mechanisms in place to keep black men out of the homes.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, even when we talk about welfare, we all know the gag back in the day. Hold on, baby. If you married, old boy got to go. Because as soon as old boy got to go, we can open up all this funding for you and your family.
Right.
Now, I'm a strong black female. You know, I don't need this dude. You know, I need him to impregnate me, but I don't really need him. In fact, he's a detriment if he's around, because we lose benefits.
Right.
Now let's go back to 1970. 1970, after King was killed, what year was Dr. King killed in? 60?
68.
Okay, 68. 2 years after that, in 1970, was the end of black industrial revolution. Because if you go to Detroit, you go to St. Louis, a lot of the places in the United States where black people live, the factories like General Motors and all them were close to where black people can walk to work. But what happens when you take out the economic base from black people? You destroy the black household, what,
There you go.
what Brother Darley was talking about. So the father's not going to be there.
He can't be there. He has nothing to
Right.
contribute to the folk.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, another
Right.
mouth to eat, and we don't have no food to eat.
Yeah. And,
You know,
we
go
get,
on.
and we get a bad rap, and it's a lot of black men out here that actually, you know, they take her to his, and I don't think like with the whole Mother's Day and Father's Day, like I don't need nobody praising, giving me a holiday
Or a
because
high five.
because I'm being a dad. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Right.
You know, I don't need to glorify. I have Father's Day every day. Every day I call my
Right.
kids. It's Father's Day. Every day I see my kids. I spend time with my kids. I do things with my kids. That's Father's Day.
Right.
And
Right.
it's a lot, especially black men. It's a lot of black men out here that actually really love their kids, and they're damn good with their kids. But the projection that's cast upon us is we're deadbeats. We don't take care of our
Right.
kids. We
Right.
don't do any of this stuff, and it's not true. It's a lot of black men out here going through hell just to get an hour with their kids.
Right.
And they do it on a continuous basis.
And then there's a lot of black
Right.
guys out here that, because they were younger, gotten into the criminal system, they can't get good jobs now. You know, or else even if they have it, they still can't get good jobs. You know, without money, you can't do shit. I hate to tell you this, guys. Without money in this society, you ain't doing shit but breaking the law and trying to make ends to live. And if you think you don't, then you're a fool. And this is the reality of the situation we're at.
That's why when you look up the data on the crimes that black people in this country commit can all be linked directly back to economics.
Right. We ain't fucking
Right.
trying to blow
Right.
up some shit. We ain't shooting up some schools. We're trying to steal some shit, sell it to bring home some bacon.
Right.
You know? I mean, a lot of times when we talk about this issue, we always omit the racist element. The racist element, you know, the dude that can be born in Tupac wherever and end up in St. Louis policing somebody.
Right.
He don't know nothing about these people other than other racist motherfuckers putting shit in his head.
Right.
Oh, you gotta beat him up and show him who's boss and get that money. You know, these motherfuckers are growing up poor as fuck, knowing that, man, as soon as I get up there in the ghetto, I can rob from these dope dealers, I can and steal from these whores, and I can make some money. And that's what they thinking, and that's what the fuck they doing. But no one wants to say that.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about that because that's ugly, but it's real.
Right.
I don't
Well,
know.
we have a lot of work to do, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think
we
first
do.
and foremost, We need to turn the TV off. We need to try and spend quality time with our families,
Yes.
no matter what that time is. You know.
And we need to start loving each other.
Today.
You know, Doctor?
We need to,
I said we need to start loving each other. I mean,
and loving each other.
Just loving each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of the times it seems like we hold ourselves up to these unrealistic standards that society holds us up to. You know, like you was talking about the brother that gets beat up, you know, over a broken a tail light or whatever. You know, if that was a white boy, he'd be like, okay, just get the shit fixed, go on about your business. We got to love each other and be like, hey, if they can do it to that brother, they can do it to me. If they can do it to that sister, they can do it to me. Or if nothing else, they can do it to that brother, sister, they can do it to your kids. Because I don't care who you are. If you produce children and you're melanated, your children are melanated as well.
Right.
You know, and this is all, we're all in this together. And we're not talking about kill whitey or nothing stupid like that. We're talking about everybody having a shot at this thing we call prosperity. You know, and there's some people that don't want you to have that shot, doctor. They will tooth and nail. No, you cannot have that shot because you're a very brilliant woman. There's no reason why you shouldn't have a Pulitzer Prize by now. Period.
It's a lot of melanated people that look like us don't want us to prosper.
Yeah,
Right.
like Jesse Peterson. You know, that can't be like, wow, no,
That's the whole thing behind the church. The church sells you hope, not prosperity.
Yeah.
Hope rhymes with dope. So what do we think of people who are out here on this dope? Oh, they ain't going nowhere. So where do you think they'll go somewhere with hope?
But you know what's so messed
hope
up
don't pay no bills.
is they not seeing you prosper. I mean, you can get that from your enemy. Okay, yeah, my enemy, whoever that might be, may not want to see you prosper. But when your own people don't want to see you prosper, that's hurtful to me.
Yeah, that's detrimental.
Yeah, because if you prosper, like let's say that I was on some of the rap game, right? I would want you to prosper because you prosper. That's a thing for me. Because we already know there's only so much of the pie going around.
Yeah.
You know, like how you always talk about Nelly. You know, Nelly not putting on nobody from St. Louis. That's because he was already eating that pie. You know, why would he give you a nibble? You know, you get your own nibble. And that's how he did. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was already connected with Scott Rosenbloom, so
Rosenbloom. I mean, that sounds oddly little hack.
he's the president of the Missouri Bar Association. He's the top guy. So if you're already connected with the powers that be, they're gonna make sure that you are right.
Right.
But you got to be willing to sacrifice your people and your homeboys in order to do it.
They cut your throat. If this boy, this Rosenbloom boy told Nelly, you gonna get this one, and this one. Man, he'll slit our throats like a ninja and get that money. And we gotta stop that. That's so detrimental. You know, if anybody, he should slit Rosenberg's throat.
Go
We
ahead.
have to stop living in fear, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's kind of hard to do, doctor. That's kind of hard to do, doctor, when we see all these videos. You know, brother, cop, you know, get your ID. And he reaches for his ID and gets gadded up. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do when we have homeboys out there. Hey, man, what happened last night? Well, you got this $1 on your head. Oh, man, I ran into Officer Skippy. And he hit me up behind the movie theater or whatever. You know, I mean, it's so hard to do because we know reality. See, we live in a different world, doctor, than a lot of these motherfuckers out here. We really do.
But you know, though, I was watching a video sometime last week, and it's a Moorish chief by the name of Tariq, and there was a couple who identified themselves as Moors. They were stopped by the police for a broken tail light or something. I don't know what it was. And they wanted them to show their license, registration, insurance, and that sort of stuff. But they had their right to travel based on being Americans, Moorish Americans, and the cops were not willing to accept the document.
Right.
And this couple was connected to the community of Moors. I guess they were in New Jersey. I don't remember exactly where it was, but somewhere in the northeast here. And they immediately called us to And he came to the area where they were at. He didn't come alone. He came with about 10 other men. And they did what they were supposed to. They didn't come there ready to fight or anything. They came there and basically to oversee exactly what was going on. And and telling them exactly what they needed to do during that particular time. And it made the cops more willing to try and do the right thing, because they knew that they didn't only have emotional observers, they had people there who knew something about the law.
Right.
And so I think that maybe we need to start some sort of process so that when someone is stopped or they're accosted or something happens to them, they have a number that they can dial, and they know that immediately that there are going to be some people that are going to show up
To back them up.
oversee the process, maybe even before they get out of the car. You know, when the cops come and bang on the door or whatever it is that they're doing, tell them to step out of the car, before they even do that, as soon as they stop, have a number that you can call and say, hey, listen, you know, this is a time, it's such and such street, we need the brothers to come out there.
Right.
And have some committed men and women, if necessary, that can come out there and just stand guard. And we don't have that.
Right.
You know, if you have one or two people, the cops will immediately move along, get out of here. What are you looking at? But if you have more than just one or two people out there, the cops are not going to be able to do what they really want to do.
Right.
You know, and, you know, we need to get people, international observers involved in that as well. And that's something that we did years ago. I'm trying to think of the conference that occurred back in the I believe it was 1950s or 60s, where you had melanated people worldwide come together and decide that they were not going to take the abuse that was going on any longer. And you had representatives from the United States there. And then the so-called Americans, because they're not Americans, those European interlopers, they decided, you know, that they better start treating us a little better than they have been treating us, because the world was watching them.
Right.
And how could they go abroad and be talking about democracy, and they weren't even treating the people that were living right, the melanated people living right here in the United States of America, right? How can you go abroad and be talking about, you know, you're going to bring democracy into the world? And we know that the word democracy means nothing but demons.
Right.
But, you know, it forced them to stop some of the stuff that they're doing. So what sort of communication are we having with melanated people and other parts of the world?
We need to reach out.
What communication are they having with us so that we can put an end to this?
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's going to help as well, because these people, these interlopers, they're getting away with things on a daily basis. How are we going to, you know, we need to start communicating with people worldwide.
Yes, because they surely are. They got a worldwide network that's cracking right now.
Yeah, that's
you know, that's why you have the PIN and all of them over there. You know, this right-wing fucking resurgence. But it's always been there. You know, it's like we're a bunch of kids, doctor. We sit here like little kids, you know, mom or dad made us a plate, and the plate has some meat, some mashed potatoes, and those nasty-ass green peas. And we think just because we have our eyes over our heads, we don't see the green peas, the little peas there. You know, the peas aren't there, but the peas, I'm telling you, they've always been there on the plate. And the peas in this example is racism. Overt racism designed to keep you down, because going back to the reason why we can't have brothers, for the most part, coming out of their house and do it, because a lot of them have to be working. You know, what if you're in an area where there ain't no brothers at, and no one has a car to get to you? See, we have all these issues, but the next man don't. You know, they got the cars, they got this, they got that, they got the tech. That's why everybody's putting on these fucking blonde wigs and blue eyes shit, because it's just that fucking obvious. until we back the shit up. And, you know, I hate to almost admit it, but it's like, you know, me and Darla was having a conversation the other day. He was saying if you're not willing to die for the cause, nothing's going to happen. And I was saying something kind of different, but it really is true. If you're not willing to lay down your life and say, hey, you know what, if we can't get fairness and we can't do this, then fucking peace out, then no one's going to respect that, you know, unless they feel guilty about, you know, piecing you out.
I just live by the motto, you ain't got nothing you willing to die for, then why are you even living in the first place?
But, you know,
you're just wasting energy, you're sucking up energy from somebody else, air, all this stuff, resources, you're wasting.
But a lot of people don't have nothing to die for because they're too busy trying to barely exist.
No, they're cowards.
And I think it also has something to do with our notions about what death is. We've been told about the fiery furnace, you know, and the devil, and all of those. When we think of death, those are the images that we have. But if we get into our culture, our ancient culture, we begin to realize that our people didn't fear death the way that we feared death.
No.
You know, I remember reading something about the Omen who were on this landmass. And they played a game, and I can't think of the name of the game that they played at this particular time, but it was very similar to basketball. And at the end of the game, usually someone died. But they were longing. They played the game to the fullest extent because they were hoping to die. Because they only thought of this as being a temporary situation.
Right.
You know, and they believed in reincarnation, and they didn't think, they knew that they were going to come back again. And you look at a lot of the ancient cultures, they all believed in reincarnation. You know, and a lot of us, especially if you talk to older people, you know, they'll tell you when a new child is born, they'll tell you, oh, that looks like Aunt such and such, Uncle so-and-so, or he reminds me, she reminds me of a grandparent or whatnot. My son just had a baby about 15 months ago. I swear to God, that little boy is my father.
Wow.
You know, the way he holds his mouth, some of the stuff that he does, that's my father all up and down. I don't care what anybody says. You know, so I think we need to take a different idea about death, and I guess it's very difficult for us to do that because no one has come back and they've told us, you know, what it's like after you die.
Right.
But I believe that the stuff that we've been given in terms of this whole religious dogma, it's made us fearful because we don't want to suffer any more than we suffered here. Or we want to, do all the things that we've been told are going to get us to heaven, you know, so that we can put on our white gowns and stroll through the pearly gates. And I think that that's a false notion about what death, dying is all about. And maybe if we change that, change our perceptions about death, we'll be more willing to do what's necessary here as we live.
Right. You know.
Which will cause us, I believe, not to die in the numbers that we find ourselves dying in. I mean, every day we're hearing about someone being murdered by the police. You know, and why are we not standing up? Why do people still believe that it's okay to murder us and get away with it? We already know the courts are against us.
Right.
The magistrates are against us. You know, so what are we doing to change that?
Well, you know what? Let's say it like this. We need to do what the Italians did. Once the mob thing came out, they started sending their finest and best to college and infiltrating the FBI. Now the FBI is basically run by the Italians. You know, if we want to change this, we got to get our fit, intelligent young brothers in a situation where they can become the next cops, they can become the next judge, they can become the next lawyer or military officer.
Bill Cosby could have did this, but he chose not to.
Right. Well, because it wasn't in his interest. But we ain't dealing with the Rudy people. But we're dealing with self-sufficient ideals. And that's what we're doing. We're brainstorming ways out of this madness to help everybody. Because you had just said it. The reason why these fucks are killing us because they know there's no consequence to killing us. You know what I'm saying? So if we can change that, we can change the rate of murder amongst ourselves.
Right.
You know.
And we can do that. But it takes commitment. You know.
In the world, yeah.
We need to change what we think is important to us. Right now, some of the things that we cherish are not helping us at all. But we've been taught to cherish those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're even talking about Mother's Day and Father's Day. Why? Why is someone telling us when we must celebrate our mothers and our fathers? And to tell you the truth, I can't tell you the last time I celebrated or sent my mother something for Mother's Day. Because no one's going to tell me what day I have to give her a gift.
Exactly.
You know? And I'm sorry, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't do anything to the 4th of July, which actually has nothing to do with us. Because President Douglas told us, you know, that has nothing to do with us.
Right.
So all these holidays, they go by and I don't get involved.
And you're saving money. You really are. Because nowadays, all holidays are nothing but corporate days to rake in the money.
Right.
You know,
so what if, instead of spending our money for these holidays, these corporate holidays, what if each and every holiday that came along, we chose an organization or a media outlet and said we're going to give our money to that particular outlet instead? For instance, Easter comes and all people, or a vast amount of people said, instead of giving or going out and buying outfits and shoes and Easter eggs and all the other stuff, we're going to take our money and we're going to use it to make the other morning show a better program.
right.
Can you imagine how much money you would have if people just took, let's say they didn't even use all the money that they would have spent for that on your particular media outlet. They just took a tenth of it or 20th of it and gave it to you. Can you imagine how much money you would have?
Oh my
Because when
God.
we get out of celebrating those holidays anyway.
We don't get anything. Yeah, there you go. You know, it makes the banker happy.
They're going to get some debt. That's it.
You know, we gotta understand this. There is, you know, even though money's just a piece of paper, we all know it's not backed by gold or anything. But you gotta understand, folks, it is everything. Even though it's nothing, at the same time, it is everything. Because the last time I checked, you cannot pay your taxes with fucking corn or dough. You gotta go in there with Federal Reserve notes. You know, you can't even buy a hamburger from wherever with some. You know, I wish somebody would come at me. You know, I need you to build me a house. Here's a bar of gold. I'll be like, you need to take that to the Thursday.
And this concludes. I'm having some audio issues, and I can't fix them if I'm streaming it live. So I'll post part 2 later, and probably a cleaner version of this one. I hope you enjoy the conversation with Dr. O. She's a good friend, and we appreciate everybody and all our subscribers. Peace, and I'm out.